Hey, what's going on? This is Jake Ballentine with Mountaintop Motivation, and this week's adventure, we are here at Walt Disney World. You can see the Skyliner right behind us. Pretty cool. I'm excited to go on that tomorrow. But I wanted to talk about having a positive attitude, having a focus on the good attitude from my day of travel. Tell you the truth, today's travel day was a little bit wild, a little bit crazy. What happened on our first flight before we got to our layover, we were supposed to have a 2-hour layover. That's what was supposed to happen. But we ended up sitting on a parked airplane for 2.5 hours. We ended up sitting on a parked airplane for 2.5 hours while they were fixing something. I don't really know what was going on. I'm glad that we were safe. I'm glad that everything worked out. But we sat on that airplane for 2.5 hours, and it was so interesting to hear the different reactions that people had. There was a lot of people who were panicking. There's a lot of people who were really upset, just really angry. There were people who just felt like, you know what, I don't care. I'm glad that they're keeping us safe. There were other people who felt like, well, it doesn't matter. We're here together and we're here having a good time. And there was everywhere in between. And I started thinking about it, and I said, look, we're going to Disney World, and what's going on, like, we could complain about it, or we could be happy about it, but it's happening and we have zero control over it. And whether or not we make our layover, we really have zero control over this, but the only thing that we have control over is how we are going to respond to it. What is our response going to be to it? So we made a conscious decision to say, you know what? We are going to make this the best situation that we can possibly make it. So we just decided to have fun. We decided to enjoy ourselves. We decided to do, whatever we could to enjoy ourselves in that situation. Now, was it the most fun thing in the world to sit in a parked airplane for 2.5 hours? No, it wasn't. But at the same time, we were able to make it so much more fun because we just made the decision that we weren't going to be upset about it, and that we were going to say, this is what's going on. There's nothing we can do about it. And I'm glad that they're taking care of us. I'm glad that they're keeping us safe. And we made our layover. Yeah, we did have to run, but we made our layover and everything ended up being fine. And here we are. We're here at our hotel. We are going to be going to bed soon, having a great day tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to Epcot. We're going to have a blast there. We're going to have so much fun. But we just made that decision. Now, one other thing happened. One other thing happened in today's travel, and that was that after we got all the way to what's called the Magical Express, so you get on this bus that takes you from the airport over to Disney World, I realized that we had forgot something, that there was something that I left that we had checked, and I completely forgot it. So Caitlin went on. Caitlin, my son Jakey, and Caitlin's mom Catherine is with us. So those three, they went on the bus, they went on, and I went back to get our stuff that I had left. And then I got to go back on. At first, I was a little frustrated, but I was like, well, I'm not going to make it a big deal. Like, it's fine. Now, I'm not saying that this happened for this reason, but it's just very interesting that different things can happen and we can find new opportunities in every single thing that we're doing. So what happened was I was walking along, going back to get my stuff, and I noticed this little girl, probably around 7. She dropped her sweatshirt and kept walking. She didn't know that she dropped it. She dropped it, and her family kept walking, and they had no idea that it was left there. Now, if I wasn't there, no one else noticed, she would have kept walking. They wouldn't have figured it out, and they probably would have got to their hotel or wherever they were going, and they would have had a very upset, very sad little girl on their hands. But I saw what happened, and I said, hey, I flagged down her family. I said, hey, your daughter left her sweatshirt. So they go back, they get the sweatshirt, and this little girl, she's so enthusiastic and so sweet. She goes, thank you so much. That's my favorite sweatshirt. And it was just so funny that happened. And if this quote unquote bad thing of me forgetting our items, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have been there in that moment. Now, did that happen because of that? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that good things can come from every quote-unquote bad situation. It's not like that was even that bad of a situation. But we decided earlier today, even though it was a tough day of travel, we decided we were going to do our best to continue to focus on the good, because if you focus on the good, you find more of it. But if you're just looking for the bad, that's all you're going to find. Whatever you're looking for, you will find more of it. When I take some of my seminars to our Disneyland trip, which obviously we haven't done over the last year, but I do this seminar once a year. We do 2 days at a hotel conference room doing training. Then day 3, we go to Disneyland. But the night before, I say, look, there's a couple things we just have to understand. One of them being Disneyland is crowded. So tomorrow, don't complain about something that you know is going to be. Don't complain about something that you know is going to be. And we made this rule that if anyone complained at all during their day at Disneyland, they had to jump up and do a star shape, jump up with their hands up in the air and go, so they complained, and then everyone else got to call them out on it. And then they say, but it's okay because I'm at Disneyland. And after 1 or 2 people did that, it didn't happen again. But the point is that we can complain about things all day, but it's really silly to complain about things that we chose or that we know just are. Well, we chose to be at Disneyland, and we know that it's going to be crowded. So why are we going to complain about something when we know it's going to be? And you know what? One of those days, we went, and it was one of the most crowded days of the year. And we had a blast because we all decided that we were going to have a blast. We all decided that we were going to have fun. We all decided that. So all I know is that if I'm in a bad mood, I can make the best news into something that can really annoy me and make it so I'm not having fun at all. But if I'm in a great mood and I've made a decision to focus on the good, I've made a decision to be positive, I've made a decision to stay positive in all that I'm doing and focus on the good, well, I can take any challenge and I can feel fine. And, you know, the truth is some days I'm one and some days I'm the other, but I can say this, the days that I choose to focus on the good, I'm much happier, I'm a lot more fun to be around, and I actually get a lot more done, I do a lot more things, and I just feel so much better. So my encouragement for you is to focus on the good. I choose to focus on the good, and I hope you will too. This is Jake Ballentine with Mountaintop Motivation, and I will see you at the top.